Seriously. Of course, there's the instant Li Ming ban. What else? What
Instantaneous
else?
again.
What else would be done? Well, break the meta. Actually, blue team always has first pick.
No, Rhaegar.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, break the meta could get away with not banning Li Ming because they have first pick, right? Which means if the other
They would
team
force Red to ban it.
exactly, so they could ban something else. But or if it somehow gets by the draft, they could then first pick to Li Ming. But I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if they know that is what I meant. Looks like we have a possible Jaina pick on the side of break the meta. I like Jaina a lot as a character, as lorically. Okay, is that to say? I was leading into that with they shouldn't first pick Jaina because they're stronger first picks, and we have a Zagara. Zagara is a better first pick already.
Is a much stronger.
Much stronger. Zagara, KT, somebody a little more of a playmaker. But now we have double pick going to the side of beep boop.
I sense a Kel'Thas.
They should. I was sort of expecting a Kel'Thas pick from Break the Meta.
And maybe an ETC.
Diablo, and really see Diablo struggling. That last game, they had no stuns for Diablo. Right?
To be fair, half of the time last game, Diablo was in the middle of death.
Yeah, but all the same, last game they had what? Vala, Falstad, Morales, and Zagara. Like, there was zero Diablo combo power. They first picked a Diablo, and you expect, okay, here comes the Wombo combo, and it's just stuff. Like, no, like, we need a Tyrande here, we need, Muradin, KT.
Tyrande would be the perfect.
Tyrande, Kel'Thas even is okay, because there's less roam ganking this map, because there's only the two lanes, and you spend so much time in the middle. Even Jaina is okay if they want to take the Jaina, because it's a lot of move slow, and the Diablo gets to beat you up. Or, you go Apocalypse into...
Jaina's good. I just feel like they could have possibly picked something
they
bit better, especially second pick.
Objectively speaking, and I hate being a meta bitch, but objectively speaking, they should have picked a Kel'Thas right there, because now the enemy team has a Kel'Thas. I
was about to say Kel'Thas.
And Kel'Thas is actually a really good partner for Diablo because you have Netherlaps, right? You either Netherlaps lets Diablo walk up and grab them, or Diablo slams them behind you, and then you Netherlaps them and just drop all your stuff. So, I mean, we'll see what the game plan is here for Beep Boop. They may have a greater AoE power in mind with the Jaina.
Might be all part of the grand plan.
It might, but again, like I'm saying, objectively speaking, or even statistically speaking, I mean, KT has like 10% more win rate than Jaina, sadly. And again, I hate being like that numbers dude, or you have to pick this hero, but this is and there's the I mean, it's just.
Pick Kel'Thas every game. No one says anything. Pick one little Jaina, and everyone loses their minds.
Right. So we have a Tyrande pick now on the side of Break the Meta. This is really interesting because they have no melee heroes yet, which means they're going to be.
They may have picked it just to not give it to Diablo.
That's also true, which is why they should have picked the Tyrande second. See now,
because there is also a lot of stuff that they could still pick right now that could still go well with Tyrande. Because as we were saying in the last game, Tyrande is just one of those heroes that really can just go with any comp and just bring something nice to it.
This puts Beep Boop in an awkward position because now they have to ban out something like Thrall or even maybe a Muradin. Like, they need to take away Tyrande combo power with a frontliner. Maybe even ETC. Like, they have to get rid of somebody here. I would expect... What?
That was not what I was expecting at all.
What? I mean... that's not entirely true because it's pretty common these days actually to pick Tyrande Tassadar as double support. I mean, they've always been the go-to double support combo, even in alpha. But I don't see Break the Meta running that because they need, in my opinion anyway, they need a double frontline, which means they're not going to pick Tyrande Tassadar and then pick like one solo tank frontliner. Even with the double support, it's an awkward composition. It basically puts all the pressure on Kel'Thas. And that's not really what you want. So we have a Thrall ban on the side of Break the Meta.
So now I'm very curious what
that Tassadar ban was really interesting. I mean, I'm not saying Break the Meta wouldn't have ever picked it ever, but I'm not
saying it was a bad ban. I'm just saying I feel like there may have been better.
I would would go with that. Yeah, it wasn't like a total WTF ban. It was just a little out of left field.
It wasn't like, wow, that's a horrible ban, but it was just like, it's a good ban. Just considering the team that they have right now, I don't think it was the best.
Yeah, so I expected.
Vala getting
Yeah,
picked up.
but
again.
I expected a Vala or Rainer pick right here because they have Executioner at 16. And when you have Jaina on your team, everything's constantly slowed for the enemy. With Executioner, your basic auto attacks do 40% more damage or something to slowed or stunned, slowed, rooted targets. So I was really expecting a Vala or Rainer. I meant to say that sooner, but the moment I saw the Jaina pick, I was like, oh, they're probably going somebody who can take Executioner because of Jaina. And there's the Vala pick. So it's. And the Rainer, they're going
Or
double.
both of them!
Double, probably going double Executioner.
Oh my god, yes!
So the problem here is Break the Meta needs to pick frontliners, and Beep Boop just picked up Rainer and Vala, who just shred melee heroes.
Well, not only that, Break the Meta banned Thrall, which would have been a pretty good
Well,
one.
Thrall would have
now
been
Beep
bad
Boop just
here.
picked up the Rainer.
Thrall's not the best versus Jaina Diablo, so I'm okay with that. But the good news is they have the option. Okay, looks like they may take the Murden. I mean, I was hoping for like a Stitches ETC, but like a Murden ETC would still be pretty sensible. Although Rainer can cancel ETC dance pretty easily, so they may not pick the ETC. But they might pick it anyway. Murden's a good pick, super tanky, even though he doesn't have the Avatar Mini Stun anymore. He is just incredibly tanky. Though it's a tough game for any melee. You have Diablo bullying you with 3 super aggressive backline damage dealers constantly on your face. So honestly, Tyrande isn't enough to heal through this damage right now whatsoever. So now they might. I don't know. I don't know what they have to pick. Honestly, they might even need to pick another support here or a semi-supporty person, like some weird hybrid of like Charism damage or something. I really like this draft because both teams are like picking and counterpicking and forcing certain draft picks for each other.
We also have to remember Morales is still in.
I was thinking of that. No, but they honestly need damage more than they need heals because you can't have Kael'thas can't kill this entire team on Beep Boop's side right now. Honestly, they needed more damage. Muradin, Zagara, like even with the Tyrande, you have Muradin, Zagara like auto attacking them. There's not enough damage coming out.
Here comes Morales.
Yeah, no, they needed a healer. With Rhaegar being banned, Tassadar being banned on themselves, Muradin also can't deal. Malfurion can't deal with the kind of damage output from Break the Meta. Lili can't either. Karazim could, if like you're careful, but Morales is the better option. Again, though, we see. I don't know. This is interesting. This is gonna be a really interesting draft.
This is 2 really good teams.
These are. See, I told you this is gonna be a good game.
This is a really good draft. I don't even know who to tip my hat to.
I give it to both teams variety because I think that Sonya pick, like, the problem is Diablo's solo again. If they kill the Diablo, Beep Boop's in a really difficult position. That being said,
Morales, though.
yeah, but they're fighting a Tyrande.
Position,
They're fighting a Tyrande, and Tyrande always ruins your heal plans. But again, Break the Meta only has a Tyrande to heal their whole team. That being said, they pick some decently self-sustaining heroes like the Muradin, the Sonya, Zagara. Zagara, KT ideally are hanging out in the backline anyway, but basically Break the Meta has to blow somebody up really fast, or the fights probably aren't going to go their way, but as you pointed out, the enemy team has a Morales, which makes that hard.
I feel like if the Tyrande specs into her heal, I can't remember what level it is, but
13, Overflowing Light.
Above like 50% health.
Level 13
you
talent.
heal like double or something. Yeah. If she gets that, I think she'll be able to do a pretty good job. Because like you said, they're pretty self-sustaining, and having that stronger heal, as long as she stays nice and safe in the background, it actually does a lot.
Right, so I forgot to call out the full draft. Zagara, Kael'thas, Tyrande, Muradin, and Sonya for Break the Meta, and Lieutenant Morales, Rainer, Vala, Jaina, Diablo for Beep Boop. Yeah, there's a lot of play and counterplay available to both teams here with the heroes and the talents they pick and the ultimates they pick. So it's really going to be I think it's going to be a slam down knockout, whatever you call it, fight at the Immortals.
I don't know. Who you gonna give the edge to?
the slightly more balanced draft is break the meta, but the more like the bursty draft goes to Beep Boop by far because they have Jaina, Raynor, Vala. But the only problem I see if Beep Boop's draft is Diablo dies, they're really in a lot of trouble. We're gonna start the game here. But if Diablo can stay alive, in that Raynor, Vala, Jaina can just keep doing their thing, break the meta is gonna have a really hard time. That Sonya and Murden are just gonna be eating so much damage, and if they don't get an XP lead, break the meta doesn't get an XP lead, I think they're gonna fall behind really quick, because Raynor, Vala, and Jaina they have big power spikes at 10, big power spikes at 13. I mean, a lot of heroes do, right? But in this particular case, it's maybe a little more. So let's switch over to heroes. Okay, there we go. I mean, as someone, you know me, I play a ton of warrior, right? Like, so it's just the more all-rounded draft is break the meta, blue team.
So you're gonna give it to blue.
Maybe. It's just a maybe, because Beep Boop's draft has the potential to completely shred
Decimate
the enemy team. Just annihilate them. They have triple backline damage dealer who are all bursty. It's just like, oh, how do you deal with that? It's so hard. And they don't have the heal power to counter that kind of damage. That's the problem. So we have a Infinite, who is the team captain for Break the Meta on the Kel'Thas, and Shu on the Murden, Magic Man on the Sonya, Dead on the Zagara, Techstar 32 on the Tyrande. And for Beep Boop, we have Oop on the Jaina, who's the team captain, Klondike on Lieutenant Morales, TRM on the Raynor, Deej Forticus on the Vala, and Regex on the Diablo. I casted...
I like that,
yeah.
I like that tiger mount.
Yeah, the golden tiger mount's cool. It's, Zagara. The Zagara! I was gonna say, are we gonna see a First Blood Zagara again?
Bad news bears! Bad news bears!
Raynor's like, screw your creep, and he bullseyed it, so... Honestly, she took two more steps forward, that Diablo was gonna ground pound her. Just pull a WWE Raw move on her. Or whatever that is. Okay. We can have a little clash here top, maybe. Vala, Zagara bottom lane, while the other 4-4 are top. Need some poke power. We have a new Jaina skin on Oop. Oop's Jaina, the lunar skin. Pretty skin. Oh, look at the mount on Shu. Isn't that amazing? It's the Leoric mount. The Empire Lord mount, or whatever it's called. Space Lord Leoric mount. Oh, tried to go for the Morales. Jaina here.
That's a good stun.
Nah. Both teams are really respecting the power right here because that. Oh, the KT wanted to get a globe.
That could be good. That could be a kill. That's a kill.
He wanted a globe.
He's gonna get out too.
No, I don't know. No! Barely. See, KT went Mana Addict. Okay, let's talk talents. He didn't need to walk over and get that globe. One of Sonya or Murden could have taken that globe for him, and he wouldn't have been in any danger.
This is the situation that they needed to have in the last game we were looking at, where the Diablo just kept going in and there was just nothing that could be done. Now, Diablo can just jump right in there. It doesn't matter. Morales is right there.
Yeah. I'm not sure why Jaina teleported all the way back for like 100 mana or something, but okay. Didn't talk about talents. Hunter's Mark on the Tyrande, of course. Creep Restitution on Zagara. Oh, but we have a fight going on here. Some blizzards, some stuns. Hunter's Mark on the Diablo. Being healed by the Morales, though. I'm not sure how that missed the Murden. Raynor's Q. That was, like, on him. Sonya taking Warpaint. Murden on the Reverberation. KT on Mana Addict. This KT, again, body slammed. But, oh, looks like Raynor's in a little trouble from that Tyrande combo. Here comes Vala, though. Oh, Kel'Thas. Wait, how did Kel'Thas die? I missed it. This Murden, though, will also go down, and the Sonya. And
The aggression.
it's
just relentless.
This is what I was talking about, the burst power of being such a problem. I mean, post level 10,
Yeah.
they might have the tools to deal with it, or level 10 to 13. Break the meta, might have the tools to deal with it.
Right now, it's so bad that Red has the level advantage.
It is. They can still come back. Quick talk about...
They can, but if they keep that lead, that's going to be so huge.
Yeah, the burst lead. So, quick talent talk for Beep Boop. We have a Conjurer's Pursuit on Jaina, along with the upgraded Frostbolt, Frost Shards, Pierces. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They might actually get this Immortal. What's going on? Beep boop.
Is there no contest
why?
here? What's going on?
What happened?
I have no idea what.
I'm
they
not.
just didn't go.
I'm not sure what Beep Boop was doing. That was strange. They weren't defending. They weren't killing. I think a bunch of them maybe teleported home. No, not really. They still have like drained mana.
Very confused.
I would have to go back and watch that on replay. I was too busy talking about talents to really notice. I mean, here we saw a 4-0 out of the gate aggro lead, but a decent Immortal going the way of break the meta. And at the end of the day, objectives tend to win you games. I mean, this early, it's not going to make that much of a difference. But it's almost psychologically like, hey, we just won this big fight, and what happened? How did they get the Immortal?
Kick you into the dirt.
Well, the problem is, res timers are so small still, and Break the Meta does have that Tyrande, and the Tyrande damage amp does help, even though they don't have any strong auto attackers. Well, I guess Sonya. So, we need to talk a bit more about talents now. Trauma Trigger, Advanced Block on the Morales, of course. Raynor going for the Adrenaline Rush and the Focused Attack. Vala looks like going full auto attack build with the, what's it called, Rancor and Manticore. Diablo going Soul Feast and, Sense of the Slain. Interesting, I haven't seen that talent taken in a while. Siege Camp taken bottom by Break the Meta. And Zagara going for the Envenomed Spines. We have a Protective Shield on Tyrande, smart pickup. Focused Attack for Sonya, she's got to get some burst damage out. Murden going for the Thunderburn, and KT, of course, for the Netherlift increase, or Netherwind talent. But level 7, pretty close XP lead. That Immortal cleared out a tower top and a gate, and I think I gave him some of that XP back. Diablo, though, pushing Murden way out of position, but that leap...
Too bad, because if they would have gotten that, they would have put them in a very, very cushiony state.
Yeah, no, they probably would have had like a good level lead by now, maybe even slightly more if they had gotten the Immortal. So that's pretty interesting.
They're pushing
But
back
red,
right now, though.
yeah, no, they did get their Bruiser Camp top.
That's a... Oh, you almost got him in it!
I clicked down for a second, so I made a mistake. 7 for both teams now. Jaina going the Frostbolt build, the cooldown reduction, Ice Lance. Morales going for Mule, smart pick. Raynor for the Relentless Overdrive. Vala for Searing attacks.
This is where you're going to see Zagara shining right now. Look at her just doing massive work bottom, because there's nothing that Vala can do against her alone.
Yeah.
She needs someone else.
Exactly. Zagara still hasn't taken a level 7 talent. We actually have Battle Momentum on the Tyrande. I was expecting Lunar Blaze. And, so
she probably got it just to be
Diablo getting... Well, where's the Morales? Heal, heal, heal. We don't have the Vala here. This is a 4v5 right now, and it's showing its problems.
State the nature of your medical emergency.
Right now, it's that Diablo's about to eat a stun and die.
Oh, he's down.
Vala,
what happens when they lose their tank?
Well, Vala did kill the Zagara bottom, and that is what forced this fight back a little bit, and the Murden almost died. Yeah, they have to watch their positioning like this. Morales is probably... Oh, well...
Yeah, if Morales goes up, they're going to lose this fight.
They have to instantly pretty much run away and heal and panic. Like, help! Yeah, so, of course, KT took the Fission Bomb, Murden taking the Stormbolt Pierce. Sonya smartly taking Ferocious Healing, I would say. Sort of lacking that burst heal on their team. A little defensive op power. Zagara did, in fact, end up taking Endless Creep. It took her a while to think about it, though. XP lead's still going the way
of... She might have just been busy dealing with the Vala trying to keep her out.
No, she had quite a bit of time in lane. The Vala was a good ways away from her, just hitting, like, minions. But, I mean, she must have been deciding. I think Murden tried to Thunderclap the Diablo. Diablo just turned around on the mount. So... Yeah, break the meta, or again, ahead here objectively. This Sonya, though, eating a lot of damage. She is... Nope, but that is Vala getting a little too greedy. Trying to chase that Sonya down, eating a lot of damage herself. Maybe she didn't have a vault up. Maybe she... I wasn't quite watching. Sonya popping that Ferocious Healing, getting some power back. And even though the XP lead is still going a little bit the way of Beep Boop here. Oh, Diablo getting... Hunter's marked, being forced to run for his life in that damage amp.
Morales, just doing work.
It is. Jaina now doing some work on their tanks. Oh, nice double arrow. But now the offensive going the way of Beep Boop. They're really chasing this Murden down, being forced to leap away. Cigar.
They really need to stop chasing.
They do. They need to hit the Immortal and not get stunned and killed by it.
There we go.
The problem is for Break the Meta is that Beep Boop nearly is level 10. And I think they're a little concerned. I think they're a little concerned about this. Honestly, they're not that far behind. If they could get a pickoff or two, like right here, they could get that level 10 first with 1 or 2 pickoffs. So it's not guaranteed that Beep Boop will hit it first. It's honestly all going to be decided pretty much right here in the next 30 seconds.
It's pretty much all on Morales.
Oh, a nice empowered Flame Strike on the kill pass there. A missed Stormbolt though by the Murden. Here comes the Jaina dishing out a decent bit of damage. Diablo looking for that body slam. The Vala Rainer continuing to chunk away the Immortal here though. Now the pressure is on Break the Meadow. This level 10 coming so quickly for both teams with that Jaina. So out of position. There's no way she's getting healed through all that. No way. That Murden, though, being forced to run. There's level 10 for Break the Meadow. Instantly have Shadowstalk, Ma, Avatar, and Wrath being used. That Diablo is beyond, Morales is beyond dead. And
well, it achieved 2 things, right? It took Morales out, so they were able to kill someone because she wasn't healing. And then the second Morales came out, they just blew her up. So there's 2 of them down.
But level 10 now for both teams. Stim Drone, Hyperion, Ring of Frost, and Apocalypse, and I believe that's Reign of Vengeance.
That was a huge turnaround for that Immortal. And that's going to put them ahead by a level now.
Very interesting. 5 for 5 now. Yeah, just that they were really applying the pressure to break the meta, but they hit level 10 a good, I don't know, it was maybe 5 seconds, 8 seconds before Beep Boop, and that's all they needed to instantly just throw out the Ma and, you know, the Phoenix and the Avatar and just gain that precious few second lead is all they needed. By the time Beep Boop hit level 10, they already had 2 members dead and 1 mod. You know? So it was good.
It's like, what can they even do here right now?
Well, they still have all their ultimates available. They're honestly just waiting.
Getting hit by triple arrow isn't good.
They're really waiting to see. They want a Diablo Apocalypse. This Rainer though, wow, he was so out of position for just a moment. That they could have jumped on that Rainer right there if they wanted to. Did you see how he's standing in front of the Immortal? Like, eat me for free. This Vala though, about to run into a Kel'Thas. Just saying hi with a little bomb. Oh! No way, Vala! You are getting super ganked today by the Magic Man and the Techstar 32. I do like Sonya Tyrande as well, because Sonya has so much burst. And like on-demand burst with W, Seismic Slam, is really nice. May not be Wombo Comfy, but if Sonya's there and someone's getting arrowed or amped, they are not going to be happy.
See, but that's fine, having like multiple follow-ups to different skills. The other, on the other game, it was like you needed everyone
exactly
to nail it together.
No, this game. See, this is what I said. Once Break the Meta hits level 10 to 13, they'll have the tools to deal with Beep Boop. And so far, it's. I mean, that Vala was just straight up out of position. I mean, this is what map awareness is about. No one's on the map. I'm way down here in the lane. You know, people could be galloping through the middle. Like, you can't be out that far with a no-escape hero like Vala. Vault is not really an escape. It's a minor reposition. It's not qualified as an escape. It's not in my book, anyway. But I think people treat it as an escape. And they're like, I can totally be very aggressive as Vala.
Vault, yeah,
you know, but anywhere. We saw that Vala chase to try and kill a Sonya. And okay, she may have killed the Sonya, but even if she killed the Sonya, there's no way she was living. The moment she committed that hard, she was dead. The only positive outcome possible was she actually got the Sonya kill. So, as we both know, and we have both done, it is not worth to chase that hard. Right? It's just like, not worth.
Let it go.
Let it go, stay with your team, do your job, do your damage. It's not your job as a Vala to chase people down in front of the enemy team. You know what I mean? Like, it's not...
Well, not only that, when it comes down to it, as long as you push them to go back to your base, you're getting experience in that lane now, they're not.
So we have level 13 for both teams here. Looks like we'll have a bit of engagement. Oh, that Murden though, was expecting a Diablo Apocalypse there. We have a stim on the Rainer. He is walking into the enemy team, though. He is going down in the next 2 seconds. Diablo Apocalypse Mob being used. Diablo, Shadowstalk, Morales heals, Chain Bombs. We do have a Zagara down. 1 for 1. Hyperion, nope. Tyrande, I'm actually not sure what killed the Tyrande. Was it Jaina? I think it was Jaina. So a 2 for 1, but look at the Immortal health. Completely going the way of Break the Meta. Huge
they got
margin.
two down right now.
They do, but they're going to be rezzed shortly, and Sonya KT can still do immense amount of damage to the Immortal on their own, which is why they're leaving
Honestly,
the bodyguards.
they could just send Vala back. Like she'll take it herself.
Yeah, but look,
They can just manage.
they can't stop this Immortal. It's not happening. The best that might happen is they get some kills here. That was a very premature Hyperion by Raynor, unfortunately. Of course, he doesn't have... I mean, his team was providing him vision there, basically to show that KT, like, doing out the nether laps. Oh, Jaina being scouted. Nice Blizzard going down. Shadowstalk, Bolt on the Jaina. Jaina in big trouble, being done on by the Sonya. Oh, this Raynor, though. Run, Raynor. Lieutenant Morales saving the day. Desperately trying to stop this Immortal push. Ring of Frost... Not sure why that.
Gotta give it to Vala. She did a lot of damage to that.
She did. She went. She went auto attack build, as you can see here. Giant Killer as well. Diablo going for Life Leech. I like that. We have double Giant Killer on the Vala Raynor. That's gonna hurt. Couples Therapy, Icy Veins. Jaina going for Icy Veins and not going for the Ice Block. That is very interesting. It's a very aggro Jaina. It can pay off. It's one of those gambles. If you get your Icy Veins off and get out your full rotations of those lowered cooldowns, it is going to pump out a lot of damage. But if you get jumped, this Diablo is getting jumped, forced to Apocalypse to save his life.
Too far in there.
Oh, and he will not survive.
He didn't have his team with him. No, he was way too deep.
Yeah, honestly, he had the soul res. They should have just let him die. Oh, the Vala walked right into Arrow. This is a problem for Beep Boop here. Their aggro combo only works when they stay 5, right? And they aren't staying 5. They're getting picked off. They're getting a little out of position, not hugely out of position, but enough that it's costing them a hero there. Or you saw Diablo.
There.
Even if Diablo lived, he was forced to Apocalypse to try and save his own life. That being said, Diablo had quick res. He shouldn't have burned Apocalypse there. Apocalypse is now still, in 50 seconds cooldown. So the team's chasing him anyway. Apocalypse probably wasn't going to stop them. I mean, it's hard not to panic a little bit when you're getting, like 5-on-1, right? You tend to just press R in whatever MOBA you're in. So just press R. Me. So, I totally understand it. It's not a hard criticism, but I've noticed other players being, and I've totally been guilty of it myself, but something I've tried to work on recently is being a little more patient with that R. Maybe you're that Zagara, that Diablo, you get jumped, and you just want to mod Apocalypse and try and run away, but it's like, you're probably going to die anyway. Save that big, 1-2 minute, almost 2 minute cooldown skill for when you're alive. It's probably going to do your team better. That being said, Apocalypse is up for any engagement here. Jaina being on the front lines, bad idea. Raynor also on the front lines, not where you want to be. Hyperion, Ring of Frost, Strafe, Avatar, Apocalypse. We just have all kinds of ults being used here. There's a Strimdome, Diablo down, Muradin and Sonya down though. The Vala Raynor Giant Killer absolutely shredding this team, and this is the kind of turnaround power spike. This KT is definitely going to die.
There we go.
But oh my goodness, the chain bomb. Raynor, you're gonna die to creeps. Oh,
he's okay. He's got the morale. He's got faith.
Tyrande wanted that kill. She was hovering. She saw the low HP and she wanted an arrow. You see, if she had taken the Lunar Flare there, or Lunar Blaze, whatever the talent is, she could have sniped the Raynor probably. With the extended range on the arrow.
There's probably a chance.
But
it would have been blind.
That's true. I'm assuming she had vision. So, comebacks. Am I right?
That's what I'm saying. You said it, once they get that level...
The power spike, the level 13, it's just... Yeah. This is why they picked Raynor Vala, because it would they saw in the draft they had to pick 2 melees. And they're like, well, you know what? They have to pick two melees.
Range.
We just go two super tank killers or two warrior killers, and it's gonna hurt. I mean, the game is far from over, but that was a very decisive fight for Beep Boop after several
That off for time.
several mid-game victories by Break the Meta, who quite easily. I mean, here's a Shadowstock initiation though. We'll see what happens. Whoa! This Rainer being absolutely shot. Hyperion being used, and
Beautiful.
oh, there's a Ma on the Morales. No heal available. Down goes Vala. This.
No.
Oh, a nice snipe from Tyrande. Diablo is definitely going down. And this Rainer is gonna eat Owl. Hedwig wins. So
And he eats an
this
owl
is
to the face.
this is game. They are going to end. They're going to core them right
They're
here.
just gonna rush it. They don't even want the immortal.
I mean, they don't need the Immortal. They're down for 30 seconds, and they have. If there had been a full fort there, if they had both towers, a wall, and a fort, they might have lived. It would have given them an extra like 15, 20 seconds, and as you can see, the timers, they would have rezzed by now and could have come out and defend. So the that was interesting. So
that was that was just a good game. Like both teams were well drafted. Both teams played very well that game.
yeah, both teams at different times of the game showed the power of their draft and the intended play style the draft was designed to give to the teams. You know, we saw the super aggro early, and then we saw once that level 10 like 10 to 13 went to break the meta after going early game for Beep Boop. Then like 13, you know, around that whatever that 16, Beep Boop shredded break the meta just completely in a 4-for-1. Took the immortal, but or tried to take the immortal. So they said at the end there, nice shadow stock, and I agree it was a nice shadow stock, but I have to say, how is it nobody noticed the shadow stock on Beep Boop? You can see
It's like, yeah, they all just disappeared.
not only, I mean, it's not that they disappeared, they literally walked their entire team right slap bang next, like rubbing elbows with Beep Boop, and nobody noticed. It's not true invisibility. You can see. Was nobody looking? Like, wow, I am.
They were so concentrated on killing the immortal.
I am just so surprised. I understand, obviously, when you get the shadow stock, it's like, oh shit, where'd they go? Or you should be able to get close to the team. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get that close with shadow stock before, in like ever that I can think of. So, I mean, it was a great shadow stock. I'm not giving any negativity to break the meta, but I'm just honestly like flabbergasted that nobody on Beep Boop, for a team with their level of overall awareness, which they've demonstrated, other than that Vala once or twice, just, I mean, as you said, lost him the game right then and there. Like, you pay the price for the awareness. A little. The Rainer and Jaina really seem to like to hang out on the front lines for Beep Boop, and I think that was a bit of a problem. With some repositioning, I mean, again, they didn't seem to notice the shadow stock, but even if they had noticed the shadow stock, they weren't in that great a position to counter it. 3 or 4 of them were clustered up. They could have been Maud, like a 4-man Maud was possible. Didn't happen. Sonya literally walked right into the middle of their team and just sat there for like 2 seconds before the rest of her team came along. It was just, you know, if you've heard me in games before, I bug people like, move around the immortal, move to this side, don't stand over there. It's like, you need to position around the immortal as if a fight is going to happen and the enemy team is going to come at you. You need to have the Diablo in the front, the Rainer, Vala, and Jaina way in the back. Instead, they had them all clustered up right in the front. I mean, I know they just want to fight and everything, and they're trying to take down the immortal, but it almost seems like a it almost the captain's whispering me. Anyway, it almost seems like a minor thing, right? Like, oh, I didn't know you didn't notice shadow stock, but it literally cost them the match after a very decisive fight. A good, 30, 40 seconds before.
So well.
But yeah, it's always that whichever team wins. I mean, the Zagarama taking people out of commission, Tronda Arrow stunning people, KT and Sonya just burst, burst, burst. Again, the you've heard me talk for years about Dota drafts and MOBA drafts, right? So the problem with Beep Boop's draft ultimately, in a sense, was it was a gamble because you needed Diablo to stay alive, or you needed your Reyna, Jaina, Vala to stay far enough away from damage that they aren't dying. But as you saw in the end there, they were standing in the front basically, and they just got walked up to and beat to shreds. So they were the first three to die. Was the Jaina, Reyna, Vala, I think. Diablo and Morales, I think, died. I think Diablo. No, okay, Diablo Rayner died last. But it's just like.
I was gonna say, anytime Diablo's dying last isn't good.
Yeah, very bad for you. So we're seeing here it's just double warrior is better. Diablo isn't a strong enough solo warrior for their team comp because once again you're not running him with any stuns. As we saw, the last team did the exact same thing. They first picked Diablo, and you're like, okay, or they had second pick, which means they had a duo pick available, right? So it's okay. They first picked Diablo.
Yeah.
Here comes the Tyrande. Here comes the, other warrior stunner or something.
Nope.
Nope. Jaina. And last time they picked Morales or something right away. It's just like, huh? Like, Diablo needs combo to shine. If you don't pick combo
and
for him,
that's not saying that Beepo didn't have a good draft. They had a very good draft.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like
it was a gamble.
It's like kicking yourself in the knee for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, like you had this great starting pick, but you didn't pick anything to follow up with it.
Yeah, I mean, they made it work in the early game, and they made it work that one big fight in the late game. The sheer raw power of like Reyna and Jaina Vala just tore through them in seconds, and forced 4 kills. Yeah, you see, Rayner did take the Executioner at 16. I knew one of them would, and Vala took the Blood for Blood. We didn't even talk about 16 talents because that game got crazy at the end. There wasn't time.
I feel like if they would have second picked the Tyrande instead of the Jaina, I don't think they were gonna take Vala and Rayner, so they still could have got them, and they still, if they wanted, and they still could have picked up the Jaina if they wanted, and just used the Tyrande instead of the Morales.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's little things they could have did. It was a trade up though, right? Morales did a great job though, keeping. Them alive.
again, the supports on both teams, very very strong players. Both the Tyrande and the Morales did an amazing job of keeping their team alive and throwing out the arrows and that Tyrande Shadow Stock at the end. I mean, okay, you have to just press R. How hard is it? But nonetheless, it was a perfectly timed R, no matter how easy it is to press. I mean, you can see here, if you look at the stats, Rayner, 43,000 damage, Vala, 36.3, Jaina did 39.8. She did a little less than the Rayner, and only a tiny bit more than the Vala. She wasn't that decisive a pick. I mean, she was good, but they could have picked Tyrande and accomplished the exact same thing, but from the start of the game. Like, they took Northern Exposure, the damage amp on Jaina, at level 16, but hey guys, you had second pick, you could have taken Tyrande and had damage amp from level 1 and had solid partner for Diablo. I mean, when Diablo slammed people, yes, they had the Rayner Vala Jaina there to dump damage on them, but all the same, Tyrande still would have been better. Murden can leap out, Sonya can spear out. I don't know. KT has Arcane Barrier. You need stun. Stun beats slow, and stun beats burst. You need to combo the burst with stun, so then you get all your burst off reliably. Or, you know what also would have been fine? If they picked Kael'thas instead of Jaina. Kael'thas has a stun, he has a lift. In fact, he can lift up to 3 people. Right? It's just... So, Beep Boop's draft could have worked, and it did work. We saw it work early game, we saw it work late game. Honestly, the only reason they lost is they failed to pay attention, not because their draft had some particular problem. We're sitting here sort of picking apart their draft, but like you said, they sort of handicapped themselves, like you said, kicking themselves in the knee. And we saw this again with the last game. Yeah, the previous game we casted, just both teams sort of hurting themselves by not picking more raw combo power with their frontliners, you know? And
Yeah, that the second game now in a row that I just totally thought they were gonna just pick something to follow up on that Diablo pick because they
the,
both did first pick Diablos.
yeah, exactly. And he's a great hero, and he has a lot of utility, but he needs combo power, really. I mean, Beep still could have won, I think, if they had just paid a little more attention and not gotten caught by that Shadow Stalk. That fight could have just as easily gone the other way, and Break the Meta could have lost there, and maybe Beep Boop goes on to push and end the game, right? Or at least come close. I don't think their lanes were as open as Beep Boop's. Beep Boop had bottom lane completely exposed the core, so. Um, Beep Boop's draft could have worked, but it definitely made it harder on themselves with only the solo Diablo and not having that extra combo power. Just it's not even the combo power; it's having another frontliner. It's redundancy, right? If Murden goes down, you still have Sonya. Sonya goes down, you still have Murden. Diablo goes down. Run away, team! Run away! Help!
Yeah,
Save us!
pretty much.
And
as soon as he goes down, people are already taking damage. Morales has to pick who's pretty much going to live with that.
Right. It's just, eh, you know, or just pick someone a little more. You can get away with solo warrior if you pick somebody who has more bully power, like ETC or even Stitches. You go Stitches and like Relentless and Putrid Bile, and you just run around like spewing bile everywhere and slowing people and being a big body block and hooking people out of position. Like it can work, but Diablo is not a strong solo warrior because he can only bully one person. That's the problem. Like ETC or Johanna. Johanna can solo tank because she has Condemn and Blind and Iron Skin and Punish to slow. Like it's very hard to walk by Johanna. She can slow you and stun you and dodge your stuns. ETC has, multiple stuns and a self heal, and the Stitches, again, for the reasons I just said, like, they shine as solo or double warrior comps either way, whereas people like Diablo or even Murden can decently solo tank. He's got a stun, you can talent it to pierce two people, you've got the Thunderclap slow, you've got the leap for reposition, like, you have a lot more tools as a solo warrior, but like solo Sonya, bad idea. Solo Diablo, bad idea. They're bruisers. They're not hard crowd control, really. They're combo power heroes. So that's my analysis as someone who mains warriors. And just really sort of the proofs in the pudding of the two games we just watched. The two teams who lost solo picked a Diablo, and they didn't give them enough backup. Like, I don't mean like literal team positional backup. I mean like literal hero draft backup.
Yeah, both teams played really well.
They did. This game was 100%. Exciting. I will go.
Yes,
yeah.
This game was much more evenly matched. A lot more great big plays coming. Mm-hmm. Whoa, big play on that side. Boom, big play on that side.
We did spend a while sort of picking apart Beep Boop because they lost, and that's what you do. You pick apart the team who lost more than the team who won. But they still could have won.
But you even mentioned it at the beginning that both teams had a great chance of winning. Both of them were great. But you even said that Break the Meta's team was more well-rounded.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what we were. The pick apart wasn't really. It was just on that to round up your team.
Yeah.
Make it more rounded.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Because. I said it at the start of the analysis. Both teams' ideas did shine throughout the match. It just so happened Break the Meta won with a nice super gank play. So the aggro power was working for Beep Boop quite a bit. But it was more of a gamble. It was more of a risky draft that had the extreme of either losing sort of very quickly, like falling apart very quickly once their Diablo went down, or you blow them up quick enough in the enemy team that it doesn't matter. So both things happened throughout the match. So it was interesting. It was fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with teams trying something a bit alternate, trying something a little crazy, like triple assassin. Like, you don't usually see that often because it's considered an imbalanced draft, generally speaking. But that imbalance can shift in your favor when utilized right. But a little slight positional issues, I'd say, from the Raynor and the Vala. Jaina somehow, Vala died 5 times. Jaina and Raynor died twice along with Morales. So once she got picked off bottom, once she ran after that Sonya trying to kill her. So that's at least 2 deaths she could have avoided. So let's say she should have died like 2 to 3 times along with the rest of her team. That would have been fair. I mean, 15 to 11 wasn't bad. It's just always about that late game. So, but yeah, we going on too long here at this point. But GG, well played to both teams. Gonna get the VODs up. But also thanks a lot, Kyle. I've been solo casting for quite a while, and it's just so much easier when I have someone else to just chatter. It's just and it's also a lot more fun because you're fun and funny. You have good observations and thoughts and everything. So much appreciated for coming on. And sorry about that first game.
It's all good. Thanks for having me. It was definitely worth it. Definitely for the second game more than the first one.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
This game was fantastic. It was good to see some higher level of team play.
Yeah, some higher level drafting. That draft was honestly really fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a good draft.
There was like all this back and forth and counter pick and like psychological. I mean, that Tassadar ban was still really weird by Beep Boop.
Yeah, that was seriously the only thing that I was like, what? Why? Like, it was good, but like just not in that situation with what had already been picked.
There's no way Break the Meta could have picked Tassadar and then picked a solo warrior. The draft would have.
And I keep thinking to myself, like, if they would have banned Muradin or Sonya, probably Muradin because it's a more common pick. Like, what would have happened differently if they would have got that Muradin?
Or even
ban?
I think Tyrande.
It's like, what would they pick?
Yeah.
And how much would that really have changed that game? Like,
well, they probably would have picked ETC Sonya, so maybe not.
That's
much,
what I was
but...
thinking. Because ETC is just a monster.
Yeah. Dance. I mean, I've seen a single ETC dance, and we've all seen it in all our games. Just win the game. You're losing all game long, and suddenly you pull off like a 4-man dance, and then it's just like, oh! And I've seen it every time I cast every week. There's some huge ETC play that just rolls the late game, and boom, the team wins, and it's just like, whoa! So he is that scary. All you need is that. That one moment to slide in and make him dance, and you're rocking. So
yeah, especially like 10, 15 minutes into the game, like all it takes is one dance.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't see that until all game long. Maybe you're just getting shut down, maybe you're getting stunned, maybe you're getting killed, maybe the enemy team never gives you the opening, but you just keep looking and
suddenly
the light opens from the heavens and the god rays come down. Oh. And you're like, yes, ET sleep hours left.
Encore.
Yeah, so too bad nobody tried to sneak Li Ming in through the drafts, but both teams
they just both games shut that down immediately.
But it's funny because both time the teams with first pick banned the Li Ming when they could have let the enemy team ban Li Ming, or if they didn't ban it, then take it themselves right away. So that was a little too bad because he's so much fun to watch, but the games were fun anyway. Yeah. Alrighty, I should kind of forget to check the draft chat. Oh, nobody said anything, but there was like 10, 12 people watching. Yeah, okay, well, gonna shut down the stream. Thanks for watching. See you next Monday. Okay, that was pretty awesome. Gotta get the VODs up though. The teams.